The draw to being a firefighter comes from this desire to serve. My freshman year of college, I was in a traumatic boating accident. I was basically jumping off a bridge and got run over by a cigarette racing boat, and was a multi-system trauma patient and should have lost my life. It was the fire department that saved my life, and that kind of shifted my focus on how I wanted to live. The narrative that I was fed is you go to college to get a good job so that you can make lots of money, and that is not the calculus on what creates a fulfilled life. And so it's more how we give and receive love and the relationships in our life, and spending time in nature and doing things with your hands and finding connection with your body. So anyways, that boating accident really changed my perspective, and I still went to college and I studied environmental studies and environmental philosophy and went on to get a master's in teaching, and I probably have a lot of degrees for considering I'm a firefighter, but I kept coming back to this idea of wanting to serve. The beauty of the fire department is you get to go to people's houses and show up in their time of need, and you really get a chance to make a difference. And it involves critical thinking and working with your hands and working with a team. You know, it's more than a job. We all have our own macro and micro traumas. And then as a firefighter, you get exposed to everybody else's macro and micro traumas, and having practices on how you deal with that, on how you are able to manage that, to allow those things to be released, is critical to how we can fully thrive in this life. You know, growing up, I was immediately, fed with what are all the things that could go wrong. That took a lot of my life to reprogram. That commitment for all of us as humans, we can rewrite our story at any time. And so I could have been stuck in survival my whole life. And instead, through commitment, through, imagination, creativity, fearlessness, that's why I got out of the suburbs of Chicago, why I live in Truckee, why I'm a firefighter, why I'm a DJ, why I'm a breathwork facilitator, why I'm a metal worker, why I'm a huge advocate and member of this community. I had a friend who was through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, and he got to Truckee and said he was gonna pause his hike and if I wanted to ski bum with him, and I said absolutely, and I came out here, and that was 22 years ago, and I never left. How we thrive is spending time, deep connection in nature, and then also, like I said, in community. And there's a beautiful community here. A large amount of the population here are people who still have that passion for life. Their life hasn't become just routine and stale. That type of environment is contagious. Fire is very interesting and fascinating. It's been something that has fascinated humans since the dawn of time. Fire is the ultimate kind of renewal of fire gives birth to things, and it also destroys things, and it provides light. And then whatever fire is consumed also creates darkness. The more we get into kind of computers and electronic stimulation and and AI and all these things, I think people are really starving for authentic connection and stimulation, and fire is one of those things. We have a fire right here in the living room. It's great to look at and watch fire in a wood stove or at a campfire, because I think it's soothing to the senses and to our minds. From a firefighting perspective, fire can also be very destructive, and you show up and you have to be there with people who have lost everything. And also, fire is very toxic. The things that are burning and that we get exposed to are things that are causing us to not live very long into retirement, and toxins and carcinogens. And so it's kind of this interesting thing, firefighters are really excited when they go to a structure fire, because that's what we train for. And at the same time, you never wish somebody to lose their home. And at the same time, you don't wish to get injured or to lose your own life and not be able to go home, or to cut your own retirement short because of the carcinogens that you're exposed to. I first started studying the breath probably about 4 years ago, primarily for down regulation techniques on how to, you get in the middle of the night at the fire department, you get a call, and you go from sleeping in a rest state to extreme stimulation. You have cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine coursing through your body and your blood, and then you have to get back from a call and get back to sleep or rest. And it takes a long time, hours, to metabolize those chemicals in your blood. And so using down regulation techniques is a way to help return your nervous system, get you out of this beta brain waves, try to get you into alpha or delta or theta, and again back into your body in a way that you can get into parasympathetic, resting and recovering. And as a firefighter and as a man in this world, all of our programming is to not be in the present moment. It's to be future-based, or to be what we talk about as poverty consciousness, of like not enough, not being in the moment and being full in the moment. That is exhausting on the human psyche. For firefighters, one of our coping mechanisms with the trauma that we're exposed to is to become numb to it. And when you become numb to the trauma, it's a very effective coping mechanism, but you also become numb to the other aspects in your life. You can't differentiate between what you're numb to, so you start to become numb to joy and love and gratitude. So there's so many firefighters I talk to that are just okay, it's fine, and that's just not good enough. And so then I get to serve those that serve, and people that are coming to our breathwork journeys are open to being vulnerable and experiencing something different, to putting their phones down and allow themselves to actually just be present for an hour with themselves and in their body and out of their brains. Every breath is necessary for our survival, and yet we could spend a whole lifetime breathing and never focus on a single breath. And we can focus on the breath, and it's a tool to provide us clarity, presence, rest, recovery, allows us to open ourselves into our body, to feel more deeply, to be more human, to be more connected, to not feel so alone. All these things just by breathing. And when you add that in a group of people in a room, everybody's getting that same physical sensation, it's almost impossible to be stuck in your head. It's just the most meaningful work I've ever done. What we bring to a breathwork journey, I mean, it's kind of impractical, to be honest. It's a huge amount of equipment and resources that we have to bring and set up. We do bring a huge sound system that's at floor level. You know, we're not just bringing a little Bluetooth speaker or one speaker. I mean, we bring two big subs and then two full, like club quality tops, and then a monitor speaker, and then a whole DJ deck, and then we bring, this beautiful table that's this antique train cart with metal wheels, and like it's something that I restored, and laser burned plaques that say Breath of Fire, and a big backdrop with our logo. And it's all like the set and setting is all like very purposefully created to create a space that feels safe, that feels comfortable, that people come into. And so when they come into the space, we're already playing music that already is a certain hertz that tries to start opening up people to being in their body, being in their heart. The human experience is amazing. It's beautiful, it's incredible, and it's incredibly hard. And to then be in a room with other people that are experiencing their grief and their joy at the same time remembers that life is not either or, it's all of it. People have shared time and time again that this is the most love that they felt in their body ever. And to offer an experience for people to come together and for them to share that this is the most love they've felt in their entire life, that is incredibly powerful. And so that piggybacks on a story that I think about often of a veteran that was diagnosed with the highest level of PTSD and was basically deemed untreatable. He was a regular at breathwork, and he said coming to these breathwork journeys is the one time in his life now that he fully feels at peace and feels love and feels joy. One breathwork journey was more powerful for him than 10 years of talk therapy. And I'm not discrediting talk therapy, I'm just saying that it was that powerful for him for that 1-2 hour session. The breath is this metaphor of kind of like the tide coming in, the ocean coming in and out of our body. And every inhale is a possibility to really create a new possibility of what we want to feel. That's the humblebee. Lives here, but it makes the trek periodically out to Burning Man. There's a solar panel that goes on it in the summertime, and there's batteries in that box down there, and the eyes come on for about an hour every night. And it's really fun for people in the neighborhood as they drive by and they see the eyes lit up, and kids love it. That one I don't have out in the neighborhood normally. But a couple times a year, the fire heart comes out. This is Dreamsicle, inspired by Penny Farthing meets Dr. Seuss. And this is probably the most single transformational moment in my life. My friend Fred, he creates amazing kinetic bike sculptures. And I had this great experience with him at Burning Man one year. And I said, man, what you have, Fred, is really special. And he says, well, you can do that. And I said, no, I can't. I don't have any experience doing welding. He's like, well, if you would build something, what would it look like? And so I spent months drawing things on napkins at Coffee Bar. And after I drew it, he says, if you can draw it, you can build it. And I thought then I was going to get this amazing internship with Fred where he was going to teach me how to weld. And what Fred gave me was the best gift ever. He didn't spend time teaching me. He spent time having me find the magic inside myself. And so this was the first welding project I ever did. It is functional. That's a Harley Davidson motorcycle seat, and my wife and I ride on that at Burning Man. And it used to be strictly pedal power for the first 9 years, and then I have added pedal assist to it because it is kind of big, and it's nice to have a little bit of help. Oil lamps, they fill with oil, so as the wheel is turning, it's like a big flaming Ferris wheel. I mean, I think fun and play are really important on how we thrive as humans. I believe that everybody has creative power and inside of them. They just have to discover their medium. And so there's lots of things that I do. One of them, though, I really love electronic music and DJing. I live DJ for the breath work. I recently started taking production lessons so that I can start making my own music. This is my first one, and I'm really excited about it. We can play just a little bit of it just so you can kind of hear what I'm up to.
This is a new life, a new way.